Yo, how's it going guys? Welcome back to a new video. In today's video, we are gonna be continuing with the hero guide series, and our main hero of focus today is Ghost. And without wasting any time, let's get straight to the video. As we all know, Ghost is one of the strongest heroes currently in the game, and he is part of the current SMG meta. We all know that currently SMG heroes are very strong and SMG teams are devastating, but you can take that further and make your SMG teams even stronger by improving the way you play your Ghost. And starting right away, let's quickly go through Ghost's abilities. And first up we have invisibility. With this ability, the hero becomes invisible for 7 seconds, and any damage taken during this time reveals the hero. In addition, Ghost gets a 20% increase in movement speed while they are invisible, and they also get a 30% increase in their damage the moment they leave invisibility, and this 30% boost lasts for 2 seconds. Keep in mind that you cannot shoot for the first half a second when you leave invisibility. And then the next ability is the Steam. When Steam is activated, Ghost gets a 30% movement speed boost and also gains 45 health per second for 8 seconds. And then the third ability is called Bloodsucker. This ability just gives him a bunch of bonuses to his basic stats, like his noise while moving is reduced by 200, he gets a 20% increase in his damage and fire rate. He also gets a 25% increase to his maximum health, and on hitting an enemy, he gets an increase to his health of 35. And then proceeding to the final ability, which is called King of Thieves. Now King of Thieves gives a bunch of passive bonuses to his teammates. So as long as his teammates are close to him within a range of around 450, they can benefit from these bonuses. And these bonuses include a 60% reduction in pickup time for both ammo and other items, and an increase in armor penetration of 18. That's it for Ghost's abilities. Proceeding to the next part of the video, which is some tips that you can apply while using Ghost. And starting right away, the most important thing which you have to keep in mind while using Ghost is to keep out of sight at all times. You should always be out of the open, and this is important because Ghost has a very narrow field of vision, which means if there are any snipers around, they're going to be able to shoot you without you being able to see them, and you'll be taken out in 1 or 2 shots for the most part. So always keep out of sight. And then proceeding to the next tip, which is related to the first, the main way that you should be playing with Ghost is employing a tactic called hit and run. And hit and run basically works like this. You see an enemy, you go towards them. Obviously at that point you're invisible. If you're not invisible, you become invisible. So you go towards the enemy, come out of invisibility, destroy them, and immediately after destroying them, you get away from there as fast as possible and become invisible again. And in the case of getting away as fast as possible, remember one of his abilities, called the Steam ability, gives him a speed boost and also increases his health as he runs away. So this can really help you, especially if you take some damage while trying to get the kill. And then for the next tip here, we shall just look at some attacking techniques that you can use with Ghost. The first is called the spinning finish, and this especially works for tanks or other heroes that have a lot of health. And what you do is, after you become visible, you shoot at the enemy while going around them to make it as hard as possible for them to shoot you back. So this allows you to take out a lot of health from the enemy without them being able to kill you, and then you can get away as fast as possible. And then the next technique here is called the close quarters finish, and this works especially for enemies that have very low health. And with this, what you basically do is you come up to the enemy while invisible and just stand next to them, as close to them as possible, and then you just come out of invisibility, but you have to make sure your gun is as close to them as possible. When you do this, even if they react in time, that damage boost that you get when you come out of invisibility will be enough to quickly destroy them. It doesn't matter how fast their reaction time is because they have very low health. And then the third attacking technique is called the peeking finish. And with a peeking finish, this mostly works against high damage enemies that also look like they are good players. And what you do here is, after coming out of invisibility, you take cover to make it impossible for the enemy to hit you while landing all your damage into the enemy. So this will quickly destroy them and they won't be able to react because even if they see where you are taking cover at a corner and their armor will not be able to strike you, allowing you to be able to get away as fast as possible. And then the fourth technique here that I would give is called the messy finish. And this is not advisable because you only end up doing this when an enemy is moving around too much and you just want to go ahead and take the risk to destroy them even if they are not in a position that would allow you to take them out easily. You can always try this, especially when you're close to your teammates, because you know that if you fail to get the kill, the enemy has taken a lot of damage and your teammates will be able to finish them off. But I would advise you to try out the first 3 attacking techniques mainly, and the messy finish should only be for situations when you are close to your teammates. So that's it for the attacking techniques. And then we move on to the next tip, which is you need to get into the habit of revealing yourself at a certain distance, which is a bit far away from the enemy, to prevent them from seeing your smoke, and also to go through that quick half a second when you can't shoot, so that the moment you reach where the enemy is, they haven't seen your smoke and you also can shoot at them immediately. This is actually important because there's a recent update that came out that introduced some kind of smoke for invisibility heroes, and this allows other enemies to be able to see that smoke as you move around. So if you become visible at a distance, the enemy will most likely not hear the sound that you make while coming out of invisibility, but most importantly, they will not see that smoke. So it adds to the element of surprise and allows you to take out enemies much more easily. And then moving on to the next tip, which is quite important, and I've mentioned this before in previous videos, it's important to stay with your team. No one wants to play with a ghost that runs off towards enemies and gets destroyed at a distance which is very far away from the team and then keeps crying for help. So what you want to do is try as much as possible to stay close to your team, because this helps the entire team. First of all, it helps you to give them the passive bonuses, which include faster pickup times for items and an increase in armor penetration of 18, but it also allows you to act as a spotter for the team, meaning you can see enemies while you're invisible and your entire team will also see the position of those enemies. So definitely try to stay close to your teammates so that they can benefit as much as possible from your abilities. With this next tip, all you have to do is stand still. So let's imagine you're going up towards an enemy and they're also moving towards you and you're invisible. The best thing you can do in this situation is to stand still and allow the enemy to get into the perfect position for them to be destroyed. And then once they do that, you just come out of invisibility and quickly destroy them, activate steam and get out of there as fast as possible. Moving on to the penultimate tip. This tip actually works very well in terms of surprising enemies at the start of the match. So there are some maps in the game whereby the spawn points are a bit too close to each other. So you can take advantage of these maps and grab ammo quickly. Remember, Ghost can grab ammo really quickly and then become invisible, get that speed boost and go towards the next spawn zone and quickly destroy one of the enemies and then come back to fetch your teammates. Doing this at the beginning of most of the matches will allow you to quickly take out one of the 5 teams in the match, and this will increase your chances of winning that match. And the final tip which I can give you is just practice. Just play as many matches as possible preferably in Battle Royale and the 5v5 mods, because these give you the greatest challenge. King of the Hill is also very good for Ghost. Just make sure you play as many matches as possible. So that brings us to the end of the tips, and the next part of the video will provide some possible gearsets which I have used in the past and which have worked for me very well. And the first gearset which we shall look at here is a gearset for players without personal gears. And in this gearset we have the eye part for more movement speed and less bullet spread. We have the heart part for more damage to health. We have the arm part for a bigger magazine. We have the runner's boots for a faster movement speed. We have the thug knuckles for more damage to health. And then we have the echo radar for more vision. This gearset works effectively in case you don't have any personal gears, and in the place of the echo radar, if you have the gas grenade upgraded past supreme level or higher, you can apply the gas grenade to give you that increase in armor penetration. Note that if your gas grenade is very low level, it may not make a significant difference to the armor penetration. So the echo radar may be a better option to increase your vision. That's it for the gearset without personal gears. And then for our next gearset, we have a gearset that gives you maximum movement speed and also gives you a lot of damage. In this set, we have the eye part for more movement speed and less bullet spread. We have the heart part for more damage to health. We have the spiked shoulder for more armor penetration. We have the runner's boots for more movement speed. We have the fancy necklace for more health and less spread while moving. Then we have the fancy dynamo for a faster reload time and less aimed weapon spread. With this set, you notice that we have as many gears as possible to increase movement speed, but at the same time, we have the spiked shoulder, which gives a boost to armor penetration, and also the heart part, which increases the damage to health. So this set gives you a good balance between having a movement speed which is as high as possible and still having decent damage. The next gearset we have here is for maximum health and movement speed. So the purpose of this gearset is in case you make a mistake and an enemy starts to shoot at you, you have enough health to survive and you also have enough speed to get away. And in terms of health, in this set you're guaranteed to have health of more than 1,000. So you will definitely survive a mirage shot or two and still be able to get away. Because remember, activating steam gives you that health as you run away, so you may be able to survive 2 mirage shots. And in this set we have the eye part, which gives you more speed and less spread. We have the infantry vest for more maximum health. We have the fancy knuckles for more vision. We have the leg part for more health and less noise while you move. We have the fancy necklace for more health and less bullet spread while moving. Then we have the scan flashlight for more health. Notice that the 2 personal gears on this set will give you a bigger speed boost from the steam ability. And we have so many gears in this set as well, which increase your maximum health. So you're going to be guaranteed to have enough health and enough movement speed to survive longer. And then for my current set, I'm currently equipping 2 set gears. That's the eye part and the arm part. And having any 2 set gears increases your fire rate, which reduces the time that you take to destroy an enemy. So you basically take out enemies faster. And then in this set I also have 4 personal gears equipped. And these 4 personal gears are very important for Ghost because having only 2 personal gears will give you a bigger speed boost from the steam ability. But having 4 will also give you a faster movement speed while you're invisible. Yeah, and I guess that's it for the possible gearsets that you can equip for Ghost. Feel free to suggest any more gearsets that you have in the comment section, and you can also give a few tips which I may not have left out in this video. And I guess that brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
What you got to lose? Got to lose. 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 I won't give up. I won't back down.